tell them check out the blog, bro. YouTube channel called MKO. It's pugilism, boxing algorithm. M stand for Marvin and Kevin's initials KO. Yeah. What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel. We're talking all things boxing. Right about now, we're going to talk about two of the other undercard fights that took place on Matchroom's Fight Camp Week 3, and those are John Docherty versus Anthony Fox, and also Kieran Conway versus Navid Mansouri. And of course, remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be the very first to know when we drop some new content, and there's a lot more to come, believe me, on that. So first of all, we have John Docherty versus Anthony Fox, which kind of opened the card in Matchroom Square Garden. Again, a decent fight. John Docherty, good amateur, good bit of amateur pedigree. I think he done pretty well in the Commonwealth Games, if memory serves me correctly. Anthony Fox was a live dog. He came with a Mr. T, mohawk hairstyle and all that. So, Anthony Fox definitely came to fight. He came to rock and stuff, So he, it was one of those fights there where it was interesting, but it was, pretty much there was few competitive rounds in there, but for the most part, in this 8-rounder, it was John Docherty. Sort of, you could see that he was the man. He was the man in charge. Anthony Fox did put up a fight. He did put up some, he did mount some attacks against Docherty, but you could just see the superiority of Docherty. You could just see the superiority in skill level and confidence and everything. He was just sort of a level above guys like Anthony Fox. Prior to the fight, I think he was saying that he was interested in trying to get a British title shot at super middleweight. So he's a guy that he's definitely ambitious. He's looking for bigger and better things, and he just pretty much, it took him 7 rounds, but once he had Docherty hurt in that 7th round, he just did not let him off the hook, and he just pummeled him until in the end of it, the referee had to call a halt to the contest in that 7th round, because it was only going one way. Fox, while he's valiant, he's a warrior, he's gonna continue to fight, but it just wasn't worth letting him continue on. So the referee done the responsible thing and just waved the fight off in the 7th round, which he gave him every chance, but at the end of the day, the health of a fighter is sort of more important than anything. So very good decision, good stoppage by the referee there, and John Docherty, he moves on, and hopefully he does get that British title shot at some point. But yeah, he's definitely one to watch. I think there's things to work on. There's some rough edges to smooth out there, but yeah, he's a guy that definitely looks good, and he's got a bit of time to grow there. And the next one, of course, we had was Kieran Conway versus Navid Mansouri. Mansouri, I think he's in his early 30s now, and it was a fight that a lot of people were calling 50-50. A lot of people were sort of saying, well, this is the pick'em fight, and it was one of those fights that for certain periods in it did sort of swing back and forth between the two fighters, but Kieran Conway just sort of came out on top in the end. It was a very hard fought battle, and although Conway sort of took over sort of towards from the mid to late rounds of the fight, Mansouri was a guy that you can just see he's just a warrior. He's a guy that he doesn't have any quit in him, because there was a point, I think it was around round 8 or something like this, and he was literally beaten more or less to a pulp. He was to the point where his legs betrayed him and everything, but Mansouri, he just refused to give up. He just sort of, you could just tell that mentally he just didn't have any grit in him, as a lot of these fighters don't. And you know, I do, although Mansouri did lose, as far as his bravery goes, I gotta give him kudos. I gotta take my hat off to him in that regard, because he showed tremendous bravery in that. Even when he was wobbled, he was all over the place, he could hardly stand, he still sort of skittered around and sort of ran around the ring just to sort of survive, you know, and he still tried to throw punches back. But in the end, Kieran Conway just proved to be sort of the stronger man, and I think he kind of held his shape together better. It was one of them fights where it's like it went for the most part Kieran Conway's way, but Mansouri, he did put up quite a lot of resistance. He did put up a fight, and he did make Kieran Conway sort of have to work for the victory. Even when it was all going his way, you know, you would still get little straight punches and good little combinations from Mansouri, but you could always sort of tell that there was a big difference in power. Like when Kieran Conway was hitting Mansouri, you could tell that, right, there's definitely, that guy's the boss there, that guy Conway is the boss. He's the guy that's actually doing damage here. And you know, that was kind of the difference. And that, you know, at some points in the fight, especially the later round, it looked like it was all over for Mansouri. You know, it looked like it should have been stopped, but you know, credit to Mansouri for surviving. And yeah, definitely for Kieran Conway, you know, he can improve, he can move on from here. You know, he done a lot of things right, and yeah, I'm sure they'll look at this, and you know, it's a good win for him. You know, good win for him. You get the WBA Intercontinental Super Welterweight title. You know, you get that as a strap in it. So it's something. It's about, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll move on from there, and yeah, wish both of the guys best of luck. It's not the end of the road even for Mansouri. I think he might be able to come back. I don't know what he'll be able to do, but you know, domestically, who knows? There might be some fights out there for him. And you know, for Conway, again, no, I wouldn't rush him. I wouldn't push him too far just yet. I'd say give him a few fights like this, and yeah, see what he can do. But yeah, it was a very entertaining fight. It was definitely, I'd say, one of the best fights on this card. I think you could maybe make an argument that it was the best fight. As far as just pure entertainment, you know, I think the Barrett versus Donovan had their best sort of ending, that knockout. But yeah, between this one, Conway Mansouri, and Courtney versus Bull, you know, I think, yeah, both of those were, you know, you could say either one could be sort of fight the night. Definitely enjoyable, and yeah, definitely great ones to watch. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Congratulations to Kieran Conway, very good win for him. And until next time, Sam KO Pugilism, we're over and out. Till the next one.